Bette Davis names. Bette Davis was born Ruth Elizabeth Davis in Lowell, Massachusetts, on April 5, 1908. She was independent and determined from the start, traits that would characterize her career on screen and her reputation behind the scenes. After her parents divorced when she was young, Davis was raised by her mother and learned tenacity and self-reliance, which would shape her strong, no-nonsense Hollywood attitude. Her acting career began at John Murray Anderson's dramatic school in New York, where she excelled and became known for her dedication. Davis's career was established on her ability to play emotionally honest roles, unlike many young actresses who relied on glamour or beauty. Popular culture called her eyes Bette Davis eyes, which conveyed passion, fury, vulnerability, or cunning with unrivaled strength. Warner Brothers signed Davis in the early 1930s, launching her Hollywood career. She persevered for better roles in her early years at the studio despite displeasure with substandard ones. This battle for quality material resulted in her 1934 breakout performance as the manipulative and vicious waitress Mildred Rogers in Of Human Bondage. She acted fearlessly in the part. She played the character boldly, abrasively, and convincingly without softening her. This performance launched her career and gained her critical acclaim, establishing her as a serious actor rather than a Hollywood starlet. Bette Davis was known for her high standards and willingness to play complicated, often unglamorous characters. She won Best Actress Oscars for Dangerous, 1935, and Jezebel, 1938. 10 Oscar nominations were a record at the time. Dark Victory, 1939, Now Voyager, 1942, All About Eve, 1950, and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, 1962, were her most notable parts. Each film showed her tremendous variety, from fragile women experiencing personal issues to smart, powerful figures with knife-like speech. Her All About Eve performance as Margot Channing was famous. With lines like, "Fasten your seatbelts, it's going to be a bumpy night." Davis played the aged but still dazzling stage actress so well that the part remains a benchmark of cinematic brilliance. Her terrifying role in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane changed her career in the 1960s and showed her ability to adapt to Hollywood tastes. Davis's journey went beyond movie success. Off-screen, she was known for her outspokenness, conflicts with studio officials, and refusal to comply to Hollywood's gender norms. She boldly sued Warner Brothers in the 1930s for more creative freedom, demonstrating her refusal to be constrained by a contract system. She lost the lawsuit, but it shaped the industry and reinforced her fighting persona. Bette Davis's personal life was as dramatic and volatile as her films. Her marriages shaped her life beyond Hollywood. Her first marriage was to actor and musician Harmon Ham Nelson in 1932. Davis, a budding Hollywood star, was about to become one of America's most famous faces. Nelson failed to attain job success, and this imbalance of popularity and achievement strained their marriage. Newspapers claimed that Nelson's uneasiness with Davis's rising prominence strained their relationship. Davis once said that his refusal to embrace her career achievements drove them apart. Jealousy, ambition, and different life goals destroyed the marriage, despite initial dreams of stability. After 6 years of incompatibility, Davis was heartbroken yet decided to focus on her work after the divorce in 1938. Davis remarried Arthur Farnsworth, a New England innkeeper without Hollywood links, in 1940, still seeking companionship and security. Davis found a sense of normalcy in this union, away from stardom. She felt calm around Farnsworth, a kind and compassionate man. Tragic events occurred unexpectedly. An earlier head injury caused Farnsworth to collapse on a Hollywood street in August 1943. 2 days later, on August 25, he died despite medical efforts. Davis was devastated in 1943. His sudden death shattered her and marked one of her saddest periods. Friends and co-workers said Davis was never the same after his death, carrying the weight of sadness and loss for years. Davis found love again with artist and masseuse William Grant Sherry after several years. Their charm and rough individualism captivated her. After marrying in 1945, the couple had their sole biological child, Barbara Davis Sherry, B.D. Hyman. Davis initially had newfound meaning in motherhood after the marriage. However, tensions returned. Davis's strong will and demanding character challenged Sherry, while Davis tried to balance her profession and personal life. Their relationship was irreparable by 1950, and they divorced. The relationship between Davis and her daughter became more problematic with time, despite her efforts. Barbara grew apart from her mother. eventually publishing a contentious memoir that slandered Davis. This treachery profoundly hurt Davis, and feeling abandoned by her child, she disinherited her in her will, ending a promising mother-daughter relationship. Davis married again in 1950, fourth and last. Her career highlight was a job with Gary Merrill, whom she met while filming All About Eve. Since Merrill was an actor, he understood the film industry better than her prior spouses, which first brought them together. With Davis's daughter Barbara, they adopted Margot and Michael, expanding their blended family. From the outside, this seemed like Davis's happy, whole family. Behind closed doors, their marriage was unstable. Davis and Merrill were vocal, temperamental, and conflict-prone. Their volatile personalities led to frequent fights, and the perfect family life they had dreamed for steadily dissolved. Davis divorced in 1960 after a decade of marital turmoil. Bette Davis never minced words, especially about Hollywood rivals. In her lengthy and difficult career, she was known for her fiery personality, staunch independence, and uncensored comments about co-workers. Davis apparently told out about her personal meetings and grievances, naming a number of people she loathed and admitted to having intricate covert affairs with. With a harsh laugh, she stated 7 actresses felt they could charm, entice, or outdo me. I hated all of them. She started with Tallulah Bankhead, the flamboyant actress known for her affairs with men and women. Davis, Tallulah was outrageous, sweetie. She saw the entire as her stage, including my bedroom. Unfortunately, Tallulah never understood loyalty. She would abuse you at a party the next morning after sleeping with you. Joan Crawford, Davis's lifelong rival, followed. Davis hinted to a deeper relationship despite their legendary animosity. Joan and I tangled sheets before we tangled on television, but she was as calculated in bed as she was in her job. Her eyes watched you, and you knew. The scorekeeper was female. Barbara Stanwyck was another Davis pick. Stanwyck was aloof despite being a top actress. Davis said Barbara was even frigid than an icebox. We spent time together, but she treated it like business. No emotion, only precision. Though I respected her talent, it made me hate her. Marlene Dietrich enchanted men and women. Davis said she couldn't resist. Marlene was foreign, dangerous, and intoxicating. She never truly committed to anyone. She kept part of herself hidden, and I loathed that game. I despised her for leaving me wanting more. Davis mentioned Katharine Hepburn, whose strong-willedness clashed with hers. Katie was all angles, jaw, voice, personality. We tried, but she was stubborn and prideful. She wanted to be the guy in every relationship, and I wasn't going to be conquered. Greta Garbo, the Swedish diva whose mystique captivated the globe, was another. Davis said touching Garbo was like touching a ghost. She was present but absent. Yes, beautiful. Yes, haunting. Infuriating. She disappeared for days or weeks and returned as if nothing had occurred. That detachedness drove me crazy. Davis identified Claudette Colbert as charming and cutthroat. Claudette appeared pleasant but was deadly. We laughed, but she smiled while stabbing you in the back. Davis described her experiences with piercing humor. I loathed her the most for her deception. I never claimed angelhood. Holy cow, those 7 women taught me to detest. They thought they could play me, not because they were ladies or liked me. Bette Davis was never anyone's fool. The irrepressible star who defined an age of Hollywood with her piercing eyes, strong independence, and iconic performances died on October 6, 1989. Breast cancer, which she fought bravely for years, killed her. Davis was 81 when she died, a survivor who had endured personal and professional hardships, as well as strokes and the cancer that would take her life. She died at the American Hospital in Neuilly-sur-Seine, a Paris suburb she had often visited and adored, but this time she had an important reason for visiting Europe. Davis visited Spain for the Donostia San Sebastian International Film Festival days before her death. She received an award at this event for her contributions to movies and her status as one of Hollywood's best actors. As usual, Davis was fragile but energetic. Her courage and decency throughout her life and work showed in her decision to accept the award. She refused to quietly leave the world stage. Instead, she made her final bows with the same defiance and courage as on screen. Unfortunately, her health declined, and she died before returning to the U.S. Davis's body was sent to Hollywood, where she had developed a successful career and become a symbol of American cinema's golden period. At Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills, she was buried in the same crypt as her mother Ruth Davis, her staunchest supporter from New England until the end. Her sister, Barbara Bobby Davis Sherry, with whom she shared family pleasures and sorrows, was buried nearby. Bette Davis remained close to the people who had influenced her identity, ambition, and stability in her chaotic personal life and death in life. The inscription on her tombstone may be the most unforgettable feature of her ultimate resting place. Under her name and birth and death dates are "She did it the hard way." This epitaph was carefully chosen to capture Bette Davis's amazing life. Davis's career was founded on perseverance, studio executive disputes, and a reluctance to conform to Hollywood's gender norms. She struggled for better opportunities, risking her image and professional relationships, and was criticized for being tough. However, that challenge helped her become one of the best actors of her generation. The phrase also describes her turbulent personal life. Davis's 4 marriages ended in divorce or heartache, and problematic ties with her children, especially daughter B.D. Hyman, who wrote a harsh memoir. Davis never gave up despite these challenges. Her gravestone's inscriptions summarized her life and inspired others who respected her strength.